Hello, welcome to another Kickstarter review, and for the first time we have a request to have me look at someone's campaign page. I gotta be honest, I thought I was going to look at a preview, meaning seeing the page before the campaign launched, but turns out the campaign has launched. So this will be interesting, and I hope this will be helpful. So this was requested by Nathan Doverspike, who's an author, a sci-fi fantasy author, and this is a game based on his book. That is all I know. Like we always do, I come in completely cold, not knowing anything about this campaign, and I'm pretending as I go through it as if this is going to be the perfect game for me. And I'm putting all my own all the stuff that I actually like aside, even though I'm a crazy sci-fi nerd, and I'll see if the information is conveyed in a way which excites me and doesn't confuse me. So let's get into it. And I guess this is a caveat to say that this is such a small thing we're looking at, and I could talk for hours about things that you need to do at the pre-launch campaign, before you even launch. What day do you launch? What time? How do you promote your campaign? Where do you get to it? These are all things that need to be addressed and will definitely factor into the success of a campaign. Right now, we're literally looking at the story the campaign is telling. Okay, so this will be interesting. All right, so diving into it. And again, a caveat, I'm terrible at pronouncing things that I don't entirely know how to say, so I'm sorry about that. The Aetherial War card game. Chaos and Consequences. Core set, an RPG card and dice game designed and written by sci-fi fantasy author Nathan E. Doverspike. Okay, so the first thing that I love about this is that it's super clear. I know what's going on here, but there are a few things which confuse me. First of all, it's pretty clearly it's a card game. And then we get to Chaos Consequences core set, an RPG card and dice game. So is this an RPG or card game? It's like, it feels like there were two products pitched right here at the start. So we have the Aetherial War card game, and then we have Chaos and Consequences, which is a very long title to put on your subtitle. I see the subtitle, and it's funny, we really stop on the subtitle for a very long time in each one of these review videos. Subtitle is that extra info, sometimes a little dry, but it needs to surprise me. It needs to give me some more clarity. There's just so many things that need to go into the subtitle. I would sometimes work with my clients for 2 hours to just find this perfect tagline, logline, one-liner, however you want to call it. Okay, so let's take a pause here. The Aetherial War card game. Oh, it's a card game. Chaos and Consequences core set. Okay, when we see core set, we think about like RPGs. We think about TCGs. We think about things that are expandable, that grow. An RPG card and dice game. Okay, so maybe some of this should have gone here. Okay, the Aetherial War core set card game. Just so I know a little bit more and I don't get confused like going down here. And I still don't know what it means by Chaos and Consequences. What's the difference between Chaos and Consequences and the Aetherial War, which there's like two titles here. If there was a product here on this image that would have clearly shown that this is the full title of the game, that would have made sense. Okay, so there's a little bit of confusion here. And then written by sci-fi fantasy author Nathan E. Doverspike, which I like. I haven't heard of this author before, but like me, again, being the super fan. Suppose if I have heard of Nathan, I'm already backing it. That's it. I stopped. Okay, this is all I need. I like his book. I'm backing it. It's a no-brainer for me. I don't even care how much it is. because this is finally like something based on my universe. Um, I had that reaction when I saw that there was a board game based on the Stormlight saga. I was like, I don't even care if this game fits me or not. I'm getting this game, and I bought it. It's Adventure Rolls. I forget the name of the game, but I'm waiting for it. So this is good to point out, because that means you're a super fan. You're a uber fan. This is like, oh, this is what he's looking for, and he's backing. That being said, what if I don't know Nathan? Okay, at least I know it's based on a known property, and if I love sci-fi books, then that might help. Okay, let's look at the video. That was a lot. Oh, sorry. I'll pause this just a second. Yeah, I wanted to have the voice on my headphones so the kids don't wake up. An alien galaxy. 3 reluctant heroes. Rise up to ignite a new resistance. Okay. Chaos and Consequences. Book 1 of the Aetherial War series. Now things are starting to make sense. But this is book. What happened to the game? Nathan, you're confusing me. Where's this is a trailer for the book. Okay. So by now I'm even more confused. And I imagine they just didn't have time to create a video specifically for the game. Okay? But, you know, if I thought that this was a sci-fi based on a book and I see the video and I'm like, what's going on? I don't even know anymore. So I'm gonna have like, my retention level is like very, very limited right now. I'm about to click out. But let's scroll down and give it one more chance to see if I'm getting what I've been pitched up here as this card game that's a core set of this huge sprawling war. Okay, Aetherial War, the Aetherial War card game, Chaos and Consequences core set. Okay, things a little bit clearer now. Ah, finally, now I see. Why isn't this in the main image? Finally, I'm getting this clarity washing over me. I'm like, I see the product. I see the way that the title and the taglines are displayed one after the other. So it suddenly makes sense. It's like Chaos and Consequences core set. Aetherial War is the main title. There's still a little bit of confusion, but this is the clarity I needed. And a lot of superfans won't reach this image. They're just stuck by the confusion here, and you know they see this, and it might be that that little quarter click down that would give them all the answers. Put this right here on the top. Okay, don't make it hard for them. So now I see there's a box. This is relatively like nice big box. I see dice, I see cards, I see gorgeous art. Okay, now I'm intrigued to know a little bit more. So let's continue. Welcome, Wanderers. Introducing the Aetherial War game Chaos and Consequences core set. From the author that brought you the captivating new science fiction book series comes the official card game based on the characters, events, locations, and universe of the Aetherial War. This dice-rolling, tactical decision-making RPG card game will keep you coming back for more and more. Okay, first of all, not native text. Needs to be bigger. Either bigger or turn it into native text on the Kickstarter, because anyone watching this on a mobile phone cannot read this. Yeah, I can't read it right now. Sorry, let me hide this mess of tabs you saw up there. Okay, going down. Gorgeous. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Finally, I'm seeing a little bit more. Okay, and I see a D20. Now I'm starting to understand, okay, this has some sort of RPG element to it. Now we see it much closer. Okay, so I'm seeing stats. I'm seeing characters. I'm seeing, wow, okay. Yeah, I should have known this earlier. playable solo or with up to 2 of your friends. I need to know that this is a game that it could be a solo RPG. Tell me the player count. Okay, I only saw the player count here, but I missed it because I was so focused on finally seeing the game. Okay, so it's very, very simple cosmetic changes, and it's crazy how many people just won't get to it. They don't. You need to feed this the information. Playable solo or with up to 2 of your friends. Okay, so that means 1, 2, 3. You will travel the galaxy, completing missions, gaining equipment, leveling up, and tailoring your character's deck as you encounter crime syndicates and an oppressive military regime in a galaxy on the brink of an all-out war. Now, I feel like here, first of all, again, bigger. Everything needs to be bigger. I'm looking at this on my huge screen and I need to squint to read it. But this is some great stuff, and that's what usually goes here. Okay, what am I going to be doing in this game? Now, saying that this is if this is a major selling point, okay, if you're slapping your name and saying this is based on a book and that's what your audience is looking for, leave that here. Otherwise, you want to broaden that circle a little bit. Okay, you put in stuff like this. Okay, travel the galaxy, completing missions, gaining equipment, leveling up in a galaxy on the brink of war. And then you can put down here based on the novel. Okay, again, I want to know what I'm going to be feeling when I'm playing this game. That's what buying is, an emotional reaction. Okay, especially when we buy games, it is purely based on emotion. We never buy because I need to fix plumbing, so I buy a pipe that will solve all my plumbing problems. It doesn't happen. That's a logical purchase. With games, it's all based on emotion, so you need to tap into what I will be feeling as I'm playing this game and do it as early as you can. So the video was a cool intro because it talks about like the story and they're gonna be fighting and it's like cool art and cool characters, but where's my agency? It's not a novel if it was just for the novel, which I see that this trailer was for, okay, that works because I want to know their story. What are they going to do? But we're talking about a game, so we need to have the agency injected into it as early as possible. What am I doing? So right now I'm really interested, and honestly, as Ori, I'm actually now interested in this game because this looks really good. So let's move down. Different game modes and difficulties. That's a great selling point. For those who want to try challenge themselves, there's a master mode, which makes every choice in and out of combat matter all the more important to your success. So these are selling points, and you need to spoon feed them to me. When it's here, it looks like, and I apologize for this, it looks like you're like scattering them around. Oh, by the way, there's different play modes. Oh, by the way, you can do a plate solo. Oh, you can do an intuitive and friendly. Most people would just miss out because they're like looking at the art, and then they're looking for those huge bullet points to just call out to them. Intuitive and friendly gameplay. Machines are completed by playing your character's action cards over a series of rounds, rolling dice to determine damage dealt, and utilizing any equipment your character has to get the upper hand. Okay, so this tells me this is a relatively simple game. That the strength of this game is actually the world and the story. When it says intuitive and friendly, then I guess this is not crunchy at all. It doesn't look like it. It looks like very fun, thematic. You have your classic attack, health, speed, defense, and simple dice chucking combat. But as long as it feels fun and it's in a universe which I'm intrigued in, and this is the players who love playing these types of games, that's my gaming group, then I'm still very interested. But I feel like I wouldn't have made it this far. Okay, the story. In the distant future, in a galaxy far, far away, I've heard that before, humans aren't the only intelligent species around. They also aren't even at the top of the food chain. Okay, magic is real, deadly, and a few select individuals who are able to channel it are called Aetherials. They are on the brink of extinction thanks to the continued pressure from the Emperor Tenon to either capture or kill every last one. This galaxy is filled to the brim with aliens, crime syndicates, and space pirates, deadly magics. However, not all hope is lost, as an unlikely handful of heroes put aside their differences and band together to rise up against the evil regime of the Galactic Imperium. Nathan, I'm sure you have some more specific description of the story. Okay? There's nuggets in here. There's nuggets of some stuff that are really, really interesting. That this is so general. It feels like we. Oh man, I feel like I'm really bashing it. I don't want to, but I'm confident you wrote a whole book. Okay, the book has probably amazing characters. Jump right into it. Who are we following? What are they do? What are they up against? Uh, um, it's there's really interesting elements here, and writing a very short description summary is super hard, super hard. Okay, how do we do it in a way that it doesn't sound like something we heard a thousand times before? What are like the special spicy moments in your story, in your universe, which makes it radically different than anything we've ever heard? Okay, so I love that there is like a combination between sci-fi and magic, and that it's deadly, and the ethereals. It just needs to be restructured in a way where I think I'm following a character, because again, we're gonna have agency in this game. I don't know who we're playing. I imagine that we're playing the handful of heroes that are banding together to rise up against the evil reign of the Imperium. Are they ethereals? Are they saving the ethereals? It's like a lot of questions, still a lot of questions. We need to get specific in these things. The more specific we are, the easier it's for us to connect. You know, let's get to the obvious example. Star Wars, although Star Wars isn't sci-fi, it's full fantasy. You know, don't at me. In Star Wars, we're locked right away to the weirdest characters. We start right out with R2D2 and C3PO, who are these two bumbling droids who fall into a desert planet, and then we meet Luke Skywalker. We hardly know what's going on. Yeah, we do have those huge titles at the beginning, but when the story starts, whenever you see like a IMDb description of Star Wars, it's always a young farm boy goes out to save the galaxy. It's like it's so specific. A young farm boy. What would be the version of that here? Okay, it's like, I get it. There's a bad empire, and there's heroes that are trying to stop it. Okay. Let me move on. Characters. Okay. So we have, again, all the text is really small. I'm gonna have to zoom in. This is just too much for me already. Chaos and Constance Corset, you set off at the beginning of an epic journey to escape the clutches of the Galactic Imperium and hopefully strike a final blow to the Emperor Tannen and his tightening grip over the galaxy. Join your apprehensive Kai Stormbringer and ever-optimistic Liliana Rose and the battle-ready Grimhorn on their journey through the stars. Now we're getting into it. Okay? Again, I know that you have the elements there. They're just not in the right order. Okay? They need to be. This is the system which I use. We list out all the selling points of the board game, card game, RPG, anything. Then we think about the target audience. Who's the super fan for this? And once we know these two things, we start to reorder the selling points according to what will excite the superfan first, and then the second most exciting, and the third most exciting. We hit him over the head with exactly what he wants to know, and these are cool. Okay, these are really cool. These are the heroes I saw initially. You know, they're standing up against evil. What's special about him? Okay, so now we get straight to how to play. To choosing your character, and we're nearing the 20-minute mark. After choosing your character and grabbing your action card deck, you are able to craft your deck with available cards at your level. Players have the freedom to start to have a larger deck and less chance to draw good actions, or smaller deck with high probability of drawing. Okay, so it's a deck builder. Holy crap, I didn't even know it was a deck builder until now. So that should be something somewhere, because having the word deck builder immediately ignites someone who loves deck builders and will turn away anyone who doesn't. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to use those keywords which make you go, ooh, I think this might be for me. And then we give you more of our attention because we want to know the next thing and the next thing. It's just like writing a book, okay? You always want to keep the people engaged, the reader engaged. You know, you want them to turn the page and to the next page and to the next chapter, and you never want someone to like stop in the middle. Combat. Combat is played over a series of rounds. During each round, both players and enemies act according to their quickness. Okay, so that's cool. So we have 2 phases. Okay, the actions and then the combat. Then we have unique characters, async characters. That's a great selling point. Okay, knowing that every character will play totally different and will have a special ability. That is awesome. We have missions. That means a normal campaign. We're going to be playing through a campaign. And I guess this was hinted at with RPG card. But again, the information is so scattered. The fact that I'm playing a campaign card game is really cool. And that's appealing to me because that fits into the story. We're actually like playing through the story in a way. Moving on quickly. Equipment cards, awesome. Bosses, yeah, that's pretty cool. Awesome art. Nice. Event cards, adding some randomness, which is cool. Between the acts. Okay, so we even have like mini games between the main games. And unlock packs. What does this mean? That is cool. Every successful completion of the campaign gets you a step closer to unlocking everything. They have legacy elements in the game, and I didn't even know it until now. You actually have packs which you unlocked, and that rush when you're opening something that was always there, but you knew you can't open it until you reach a certain point. I mean, just to give you a little tiny example, I'm now going through Final Girl, and I'm playing like all the different scenarios. I bought like 3 versions of the game, and that feeling of opening that little letter that you have open only after you win the game with this girl, it just gets you bubbly with excitement. This is a huge selling point. Okay, game modes. Okay, we have master mode, and that's harder. We talked about that before. We know that. Then we get to what's inside in the box. Good. I still don't know the price. Okay, we're getting to pledges and add-ons before we even. Okay, yeah, no, pledges and add-ons. So, $1 Warp Zone ally card. Okay, so this is basically a stretch goal that will be included. It shouldn't be here. Okay? Just tell me what the core pledge is. Aetherial War Story Collection sign. Again, I don't even know if I care about this. I just want to know how much the game is costing. How much the game will cost. Game and mat. Okay, get your copy. Untold Adventure Game? Now I'm even more confused. You're like selling me all sort of things. I just want to know how much the game would cost. Miniatures? There's fucking miniatures here. Sorry for the language. And they can be painted? This campaign is literally, it's upside down. This whole campaign could be so much more successful if it knew exactly who it was targeting and just had the most exciting things up front. Okay, you want to get people to buy your miniatures, have it somewhere. know that the miniatures are coming. I didn't think this would be a miniature game, but if someone loves the book, this is like the ultimate, fan dream for anyone who watches, who read the book. We're spectators for the noble artist himself for a sneak peek at the story behind the novel and the official card game. So this is okay. But that's just the same one. Maybe there's a mistake. Maybe the first video isn't the right one. Okay, we need to wrap out. Stretch goals. Okay, I don't even know how much this game is costing yet. This is bad, because if I was on mobile, it looked cool, but you're not giving me the price. It raises so many red flags because I feel like, oh, is he avoiding telling me how much it costs? Is he okay? So I don't know. $35. Yeah, that makes sense. Where was this on the page? Maybe it did not appear at all. Maybe you're all shouting at your screens because I just missed it entirely. No. Okay, so again, a quick word about this. The reason you have your pledge levels on the main screen is when people are on mobile devices, they cannot see this easily. They need to make another time commitment. They need to make another, okay, I'm still engaged, and let's see how much it is. Okay, so 35, that is pretty cool. You get the game, all the stretch goals. That's awesome. Yep, definitely deserve worth it, but probably people will be more interested in the bigger ones. Okay, now that we learned that they're miniatures. Okay, so wait, how many backers are here totally? Oh, just 13. It's just the beginning, so there's no data. Okay, so 4 people just want the game. 6 people want the neoprene playmat. I would have loved to see how that looks like somewhere. And then we have the retailer pledge, which is 120. I'm not going to talk about that now. And then we have the miniatures. Yep. Nobody's backing for the miniatures just yet because we didn't know there were miniatures when we're going into this. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, wow. Those are huge pledge levels. So overall, okay? And yeah, we went way over time. Overall, this campaign needs more focus. It needs more focus. It needs, obviously, there's a lot of things that need to go here into the pre-launch page. It was launched apparently on a weekend. A lot of people just don't go on Kickstarter on the weekend. That's why Kickstarter Tuesday became a thing. But again, it depends on your audience. It depends on on the super backer you want to attract. So this campaign needs to, this is my recommendation. It should cancel and rethink its strategy. Okay, so try to come up. This campaign is bloated a bit. I don't see how the miniatures fit into this, because miniatures is a different audience. Okay, you have basically 3 types of audiences here. You have people who read the book or love sci-fi and are intrigued by this, and knowing that you're going in to read a book and you'll have like a card game to complement it, that's a cool thing. And what happens if you just target people that read books but don't play card games? Will this fit them? Will they like this? Can they even get into this? It sounds like it because it's friendly. It's intuitive and friendly. It doesn't seem too heavy. That's one audience. The second audience is people who love card games, and apparently deck builders with RPG elements and legacy and campaigns and cooperative, and that can be played solo. Just amazing. That's a huge audience that loves these types of things, and it's not that big of a monetary commitment. It's really not that bad. And yeah, hell yeah, I would pay for that. For a card game that has legacy elements, yeah, that I can play by myself if my boy doesn't want to play that with me. That is awesome. And to know that it will have expansions along the way. And then the third audience is you're like delivering these beautiful miniatures, painted miniatures. Reminds me of what the Stormlight Saga did for their miniatures. I did not pledge for that. That was just too expensive for me because I'm not that type of audience. I love the Stormlight Saga, but it wasn't enough for me to pledge for just miniatures. So you're having 3 audiences, you're fighting for their attention, and you're dripping the information so slowly, there's just no way you can get through this. And the good news is, it could be easily fixed. You don't need to recreate assets. You don't need to recreate the game. It's actually by removing things that you'll get to a much clearer messaging. The person that this is for will know you're talking to him, and it'll pledge much easier. Because, come on, $35 for that board game is a no-brainer. And then the jump to get a nice mat with it, it's hard to resist. Okay, I hope this was helpful. This was Aetherial War, and catch you next time.